Hey there folks, Aldershot here, and today we're going to do a quick look into Soul's Axiom, developed by Wales Interactive. It's on sale on Steam at the regular price, around $20. Alright, so this is a puzzle adventure game, and each one of these little hub areas represents different levels that you can go into. Now this is an early access, alright, so the whole game's not released yet. I do believe they are releasing it episode or level by level, so there is that, alright. Now, the game looks pretty good, as you can see. You know, it has a sort of almost a low polygon look to it. The textures can be a little bit blurry, some of them, when you get close to them, but from a distance, they look, you know, they look pretty good for the most part. It got a nice art style to it. Anyways, let's showcase some of the puzzles here. Let's see, we got this boat here, and we gotta move the propellers. Move the boats over to that statue, just like that. With our green replay power, or whatever, we're gonna freeze it there. Alright, we're going to use this step as sort of like a little stepping stone, so we push this button. Okay, so yeah, it's a first-person puzzle adventurer, as you can clearly see, with a pretty interesting art style. I really do like it. It's almost like a 3D's Looney Tunes sort of look, almost, but obviously in their own style and all that stuff. Alright, so let's see. Over here, we shall go and grab these gears. Now you actually have multiple powers that you'll be using to solve different puzzles, of course. And I must say, playing through a fair portion of this game already, the puzzles can sometimes be very, very inventive. I mean, these mechanics are pretty simple, you know. You got your green power that I've been showcasing, where you just kind of move objects and allows you to freeze them in place when when they're set in the right location and all that. And let's see, we grabbed those two bricks, so we'll put them in there. And there's another one that I have, another power, which is this blue sort of almost disintegration power. As you can see, the objects that you can interact with, when you highlight them, they'll glow a certain color, and that'll represent what powers you can or can't use on them. So we're going to use our blue one. So as you can see, it kind of disintegrates certain materials. You can reform them, of course. RMB and LMB will be how you be using your powers and all that. Alright. And like I was saying, they've actually been pretty inventive from what I've seen so far with how they've been using the power. Like, for example, here you use the blue power to kind of show the answer to this puzzle here. And you do combine your puzzles, or not your puzzles, your different powers to solve puzzles. You know, we use the blue to kind of disintegrate some of the materials here. I think we're doing this right. Okay, yeah, we are doing it right. There we go. Reveal, there we go. That's the pattern that we have to go for. We gotta use our little movement power here, the green thing, to move these bricks. You can't tell already, I've already done this level. I didn't want to spend the whole video trying to figure out what the hell I'm supposed to be doing. And some of the puzzles are actually kind of challenging. It definitely boggled my brain sometimes. But yeah, for a puzzle game, I've been enjoying it for the most part. It's a little bit rough, and the narrative is kind of interesting. It's not told with words. It's through a series of events, and it's kind of ambiguous from what I've played so far. It does leave a lot of it to the player's imagination, which is kind of interesting. I certainly have no issues with that sort of narrative storytelling. But there you go, that's a little example of one level. I want to get out of here, actually, and I want to show you just at least some of the aesthetics of some of the other levels, because they're done pretty well. I have no real complaints about the graphical fidelity of this game overall. It's pretty interesting for the most part. I really like the art style, that's for sure. It is nice, you know, it has a nice color palette. And it uses the sort of almost low poly look to its advantage, I guess you could say. But anyways, I'm just going to quickly showcase some of the other levels just to show you what's available for you. But do keep in mind, this is early access, you know, and it is $20, so it is asking for a fair amount. At least the visual quality kind of represents the asking price, in my opinion. But it's hard to say if it's actually going to be worth your full $20 at this point. I'm pretty sure they're kind of close to it being done with early access. So if you're interested in this, I kind of recommend just waiting, just because, you know, there's a fair amount of content. There's like 4 levels for you to play through, but it's, you know, one of these kind of, it's just kind of a weird game to be in early access. I think that's what I'm trying to say. It's a little bit more narrative driven and it's level to level, so it's almost like it's trying to be an episodic game, if you will. But anyways, we're about to run out of time for this video. It is a quick look, so I just want to quickly showcase what some of the other levels have to offer as far as visual is concerned. And of course, each level will feature its own puzzles, and they are, as I mentioned before, quite unique and quite inventive in how the developers use these simple mechanics to kind of, you know, form new puzzles and puzzle elements. Anyway, so this is kind of like a island, sandy sort of level here. Let's see, let's get out of here. I just want to showcase some of the level design because they're real pretty, you know, if nothing else. And the lighting's done really well in this game as well. Again, as far as visuals concerned, I don't really have too much of a complaint, really. It just feels a little bit unfinished, right? And that's why I kind of don't like. But it is early access, of course, right? So there's one more. I think this one is actually pretty recently added, ever since the latest PAX or GDC or whatever. Anyways, I'll just quickly show you this one. This is actually one of my favorite ones. Again, it's one of the newer ones. This is a movie theater almost, right? So that's kind of neato, or a museum of some sort. But anyways, that's basically it for Souls Axiom. It's a very, very moody, atmospheric kind of first-person puzzle adventurer, which I definitely like. And it's hard for me to say if it's worth your $20 at the moment because of its incomplete state, right? That's the only thing. I guess you can kind of treat it as episodic, but you have to buy all episodes at once, I guess. But it shows a lot of promise, and I like that, right? So far from what I've played, I've enjoyed, you know, what I've seen so far. And like I said, they've been somewhat inventive with just these simple mechanics that we've seen so far. And I believe there's actually another power that I haven't actually seen yet. But anyways, folks, I'm going to get out of here. I'm stretching this video on much longer than I anticipated. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, you know, show me some love, like, share, fave, and comment. If you haven't already, subscribe, and I'll bring you more videos like this. Thanks for watching, folks. All the shout outs.